Welcome to Pure Fuckery, the podcast. I'm your host, Monique Ross. It's your favorite Dr. Bay. In today's episode, I am joined by special guest co-host, my homegirl Karen from the Love Is podcast. And she is where you're out of, where you say Ohio?
I'm out of Ohio. Mm-hmm.
Ohio. My homegirl Karen's out in Ohio. She's bringing some love and energy to Pure Fuckery, the podcast. Say what's up to the fuckers, Karen.
Hello, Pure Fuckery. It's your girls, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose from the Love Is podcast. It's kind of odd to, do my spiel without my co-host. It really kind of is. Like, I'm normally so like, oh, but he ain't here. He's gonna hate it. He's gonna hate it.
Hey, well, the lady's gonna handle this today. The lady's gonna handle this today, y'all.
Sit down somewhere.
Guess what we talking about? We talking about embracing singlehood. Although Karen did tell me that she's almost off the market. She almost in the cart. She in the cart, y'all.
Right. He ain't hit pay yet. He ain't hit pay. So there's still room between now and the end of the year.
All right.
Jump back out if need be. But yeah. But I mean, singledom, is a cool space to be in. Especially when you learn how to be single.
Yes.
To go back into a relationship.
Exactly. And I think everybody needs, especially if you come out of a long-term relationship, or even if you just been dating, like dating, like take that time to just chill, get to know you, learn what you like, what your likes, what your dislikes are, what do you like to do. For me, Karen, I was married for hellas. And then me and my ex-husband, we split up, and then I ended up in a relationship with a younger guy for 5 years. After their relationship ended, I jumped into another rebound, got engaged, didn't make it to the altar, thank God. Did not make it to the altar, called it before it, we even made it to that point. But and then after that, I was single, I dated. But I was single, but I was still dating. And I was dating like serial dating, right? And then I kind of chilled again. Then I meet another guy. We get engaged. We dated. I get engaged. And then I call that shit. So basically,
you was living the Beyonce soundtrack. Like, thank God I dodged a bullet.
Yes. Every time I come up out of a situation, I say, thank God I dodged a bullet. Right. Just being single. And y'all know me, never on no cocky, arrogant shit. You know what I'm saying? But when you're an attractive woman, Karen, I'm sure you can relate because she's fucking beautiful. Look at her, y'all.
You.
But being attractive, being single, you get a lot of inquiries. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
A lot of
down in the DMs.
Yes, it absolutely goes down in the DMs, and it goes down every fucking word. Like for me, I don't give a damn if I'm out looking like a homeless crackhead. Somebody's gonna say something to me, and sometimes I look at people and I'll be like, do you not see me? Like, because I do. I go out in public, and I'm not that person concerned about somebody seeing me when I'm out in public. Like, I woke up, I know how I left out the house. I don't give a damn. Like, this is me, because I know when I want to get my shit together, my shit together. You know what I'm saying?
But you follow me on social media, so you know my Instagram video. I say, listen, I intentionally walked up out the house looking like the people at Walmart. You don't like it? Don't look at me. This is how I decided to drop my kids off, get a coffee, go to Target, and come home. Okay?
Exactly. And people don't understand it. Like, I don't want to be bothered. Like, I never want to be bothered. I tell people like, you just talking shit. Like, I'm chilling. Leave me alone. Right. Like, I'm good with the space that I'm in, because
exactly,
men are a distraction. Men are a fucking distraction. And these last few months for me has been like, I say that because it has absolutely rung true in my life, just how much men are distraction. I recently had somebody ask me why I was single. Like, why are you single? Do you honestly, is it you? Is it them? Is it the people you encounter? You know what I'm saying? I'm single for a number of reasons. I'm hella picky. I'm mean, so I don't even give nobody a chance. And when I do give somebody a chance, they I quickly realize why I don't give people a chance, period. Right, you know what I'm saying? But my overall honest answer is, I'm single because I have men that absolutely love the idea of me. They see me, they're
Absolutely.
like, you're a walking goddess. I had a man tell me I smell like the motherland. He was like, you smell like the motherland. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck the motherland
Listen,
smell
did
like.
you ask
Thank
him,
you.
had he been there?
Motherfucker ain't been to the motherland, Karen.
He got that incense. He got the incense at the corner store.
Yeah,
That's
that,
the
that
the
are
motherland
called
he
the
know what it
motherland,
smells.
and he thinks
Okay.
the
That's the
African
only
smell
thing he
like
know about. That's the only part of
exactly.
the motherland he know about.
Exactly. But me being single, I'm single because a lot of men love the idea of me. They see this woman who's, on the surface has her shit together, but I tell them all the time, I'm a fucking mess. Yeah, my shit together in certain aspects of my life, but in other aspects of my life, I sit up. That's why my podcast is named Pure Fuckery, because the fuckery that is my life.
You
But
know?
these men love the idea of me, but they lack the maturity and the mental capacity to really and truly love me and treat me the way I want to be treated. You
And
know?
it's crazy you say that because I had this conversation last night. I said everybody can deal with you in their capacity, in their realm, but very few, especially with women to men, women who are ambitious, career driven, goal driven, but you cannot handle the weight of me. And I don't mean when I step on the scale, but
Right?
can you take look at my life? It's beyond the house, it's beyond the cars, beyond the podcast. But you got to factor in my kids, my exes, my parents. Like, it's more than just me, boo. You got to take the whole kit and caboodle, but
Exactly.
you want the part of me that dresses up, looks nice. When I open my mouth, I can hold a conversation. There's more to it than that. You got to take everything, all the businesses, all the kids, the whole thing that makes me K, and for you, it makes you Mo.
Right, exactly. And they don't understand that. And for me, I've had a guy that I'm not even. I guess I'll say I'm entertaining the conversation. This man straight told me, he was like, "Man, you're fucking beautiful, but you should just shut the fuck up sometimes." And I say I'm entertaining the conversation because I consider him one of my homeboys. He's trying to get to another level, but no, I'm not going to shut the fuck up. This is who I am. And if you can't appreciate me and you can't appreciate, me for being outspoken, you have no business in trying to even get me to entertain you. So, you know what I'm saying? I understand where the situation is. Like now, it may for me, I feel like it's to the point where I'm a challenge to him. I'm something that he wants to
Mhm.
conquer. So he continues to stay around because I talk bad to him. You know what I'm saying? My mind's made up. Like my mind was made up before it even started. I knew that you wasn't the motherfucking man that was sent for me.
Listen,
So
rewind that. Say that over again because somebody needs a man needs to rehear that part. I
my
made up
mind
my
was made
mind
up
when you
before
try.
you even approached me, like before you even let it be known. Like I know, like and men fail to realize this, and this is an age old
It's
question.
chess. It's not checkers. It's chess.
Exactly. It's an age old
Chess.
question. Do women know up front if they're going to sleep with the man or not? Fuck
Yes.
yes. I can look
Yes.
at you physically, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't even gotta say shit. I can look at you and say, he would never
Listen,
experience.
I start coming up with the how I'm gonna get off this conversation line. As soon as you say hi,
Never.
I'm already got the exit strategy. Like, son, I'm not
Exactly.
interested. Like, no, I'll be every B word you can call me right
Exactly.
now. But I promise
Exactly.
you, you don't want me, and I don't want you.
And I tell them, like the ones that look at me and they look at me as something to conquer. I flat out tell them, like, sir, you don't want these problems. Like,
You don't want the smoke.
I'm a whole fucking problem out here, and I require way too much. And it's not, nothing extra. But if you can't even meet my immediate expectations,
Right.
you're never going to make it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like you're never
Mm-hmm.
going to get to I call it the full Monique experience. Y'all know that. Like that's what it's called. You'll never get the full Monique experience, sir. And I'm just to the point where I'm okay with the side eyes and the questions. Like I straight got family members that question whether or not I'm a lesbian at this point.
Oh, right. You
I got
know.
family members that have questioned whether or not I've made up guys, and it's like
Oh,
and the reason being, Karen, because I don't bring nobody around my
me
family.
neither. Me neither.
They,
I'm terrible about
my
bringing guys
kids,
home, and I'm grown.
I'm grown. Like we're grown as fuck. Like my kids,
Okay.
talk to my boys, and I got 2 sons. I tell them bits and pieces. Like if I'm going on a date, I'll tell them who I'm going on a date with, just in case some shit crack off and I don't return home. Like they need to know.
Right.
I
You
don't
might need
share
to you
names.
might need to iPhone my location.
Exactly. I don't share names. Everybody get a nickname with me. You know what I'm saying? All the fellas get a nickname.
I thought it was just me.
Look, that's the thing. My kids know the nicknames, and I be like, don't ever say that shit around nobody. Like
Okay.
my small girls, they know the nicknames and stuff. But yeah, like I'm just to the point where I know what I want, and I'm looking for something specific. And I just reached a point recently where I've said to myself that if it's not in alignment with those specifics, with my prayer,
Right.
that Sierra prayer, I got my
Okay.
prayer that Mo prayed. And if it's not in alignment with what it is I'm praying for, I'm not entertaining it. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And I'll tell
Absolutely.
you quick, like you can be the homeboy, you can be cool. You want to come on my podcast? We can talk some shit because I'm always looking for a podcast.
The shits and giggles. You know why I
Exactly.
come
But
for, what I'm here for. The
other than
shits and
that,
giggles.
we ain't doing nothing, sir.
But I think the thing that I think we as women have to get to the place is and I talked about it on our podcast it's called Provide What You Require.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever I'm requiring out of a relationship, especially out of a dude, baby,
I
listen.
can reciprocate it.
Okay. No, I don't need you to bring a table. We need to compare the tables. My table might be
Exactly.
better than your
My
table.
table's better than yours. Anyway, we're
Okay.
keeping my
Listen,
table, sir.
so listen, I'll keep your table. We'll keep your table, my chairs. What's your artwork
Exactly.
look like? What's your
Exactly.
floors look like? What Sorry, I'm good. So I think we have to get to the place where we do know what we want and can we reciprocate it? Because what I hate, and y'all can feel any way you want to about it. I hate women that are like expecting $1,000 dinners, but you can't put your credit card down to pay for that $1,000 dinner if it's the flip, because we want to be catered to and all those kind of things. But baby, that's a reciprocal thing in a relationship. At some point, you're gonna have to break off. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like this, and I say this all the time. We all prostitute ourselves in a relationship in one way or another. You're gonna pay for something. You gotta pay to play. Either he paying, you paying, you're both paying. Somehow that's how this happens.
I agree.
But until you learn you can't know what you want. So you need to be in what I call singledom. You need to know what turns you off, turns you on, what you like, what you don't like. Like case in point, we talked about me coming off the market. My very first date is going axe throwing. I said, who in the hell thought this was a good idea? I'm like, oh, that was you, stupid. Like he asked you, pick a spot you want to go to. Because to me, the thing is this, what men have to understand is that for me, basic communication, like good communication skills is a basic.
Yes.
Like you having a good mouthpiece,
yes.
Congratulations, you got out of kindergarten. Now where are we going with this? Can we get past kindergarten grade? Can you go? Can we get to fifth grade? Can we get to high school? Have you read a book since high school?
Yep.
What's your college degree in? You ain't got to have one. But what you doing in your life? What are your goals? What are your ambitions? And I think we have to learn how to package all that. Like, don't hit them on the first day. Like, what are your goals and ambitions? Like, hey, your current job. Like, where are you going with that? Like, is there, there's ways to finagle everything. And so I'm just like, listen, you got to enjoy singledom because in the singledom, you find you, but you also retweak what you've kind of been taught. And that's where I'm at in like this phase of life is like, I really see like, ooh, is that a learned behavior? Or did I just pick this up somewhere? Or is this, like a coping mechanism? Or is this how I thought, because once upon a time I was engaged and was gonna get married, got cheated on with a crackhead, had to move
Let's
back
talk
home.
about this shit.
Okay.
She told me this beforehand, y'all. And she should have known I was gonna put her on the
Bring this
spot.
up. Listen, once you take it to the podcast, you can never take it back.
Karen, how does one end up engaged, get cheated on by a crackhead?
Okay, so this story. So me and this dude have been together in 2003. We're engaged. I want to say like 2005. We're getting married in 2008. Okay. So every woman got that whole women's intuition. I know something going on. We all sang the Get Out, Changing Faces song. My vitals are telling me that you creeping.
Yep.
I've been asking questions. Now I'm at the place of paranoia where I'm checking your phone. Not one phone, but two phones. So he was very Kevin Gates early on. So I know what you're doing. I just need you to tell me because I'm the type of broad that's like, listen, if I don't do it for you, let's just do this.
Yep.
before we change names and fuck up a whole bunch of shit, Joe credit, my credit, mom and dad. And the thing that's really fucked up about him and my situation is that our parents have been best friends since the 80s.
Oh wow.
So this is now 2000s that we're
Right.
dating about to,
Right.
merge. So she would call the house all hours of day night. I'm like, ain't no bitch calling this somebody else's house. And you laid up. And they no, son.
Right.
So I finally got to the point. I went through his phone, and this is when like sexting had first like become hot. So
Mm-hmm.
now y'all exchanging body parts via text.
Right.
Done. So the backstory is when he first met her, he's a truck driver. He's a part of family business, so they all go to the same fuel stop to get fuel. So they up there
Mm-hmm.
getting fuel and they snacks and talking rah rah rah. The clerk is getting her ass beat by her boyfriend.
Okay.
They go and separate them. Both of them crackheads, certified. Now she's obviously functioning because she had a job. Dude, they were like was off the rocker. Cops come, they have to give their statements and rah rah rah. So that's how their friendship developed. But swear to God, and the worst part about it is Mo is that true to form, she died
Oh wow.
of an overdose, pain
Wow.
pills.
Wow.
And how do I know this, y'all? Because the nigga called me and was like, "You would never guess what happened." And I said, "What?" And I'm like, "It's something about our kid. Like he has a daughter, but I helped raise her from the time we were together to the time, we
Mm-hmm.
finally broke up. Because not only did we break up, got back together, tried it again. I was like, nah, son. So she's grown and all this. So I'm like, ain't got nothing to do with the kid. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
He gonna tell me she died. I said, oh, well, I'm sorry for your loss, son. But
Right.
this ain't got to do with me.
Nothing to
I'm
do with
like,
you, sir.
oh, right. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, so like when people see us together, they're like, I can't believe she's still really cool with him. I said, listen, to lose me is the worst tragedy. I said, listen, he's living a Shakespeare life. At
Right.
the end, he lost the girl, and the
Right.
girl has moved on multiple times over.
Right.
We share a grandchild, so I'm like, listen, don't come down to the little one. I ain't got no holler. Like I'm still very kosher and cool with him because as you grow from your pain, you
Yep.
have to understand like there's no point to me hating him. Like he's living his life in any way, shape, or form he wants to. If I hold on to him, then I can't move forward to where I'm supposed to be, with whom I'm supposed to be with, because I'm still tied to you. I'm
Mhm.
still tethered to your shit. I'm still tethered to the pain that you caused me. And at some point too, I have to atone for the responsibility that I played in the part of it. Like when it got to the X, Y, and Z point, when she was calling all the time, I should have just been out then. When
Yeah.
you didn't put your foot down and create boundaries, I should have been gone then. When I started becoming paranoid to the point I'm checking two phones while you in the shower, listen, it should have been gone long before
Right.
we got to that part.
And
So yes,
look,
that
we be knowing when it's
we
time to
do.
let some shit go. But as women, you know what I'm saying? We try to fucking hold on to the good times and convince ourselves that we can get past this shit. That we can get past it because we I hate starting over. I'm tired of starting over. And that's why I'm in the space that I'm in. I'm tired of fucking, you know what I'm saying, my friends getting engaged and I'm here asking a motherfucker what's his favorite color once again. Like, I'm to the point, Karen, no bullshit. I'm to the
But
point.
it's the real shit though. But it's just the way
Yes,
it comes out. Like, what's your favorite?
I'm
What's your
to the
favorite food?
point.
Like, it's the 20 questions. It's the 20 questions game. You got to play. I feel
Karen,
you.
I have reached a point where I tell motherfuckers, don't ask me what my favorite color is. Figure that shit out. If you don't know what my favorite color is, leave me the fuck alone. Just figure it out. I don't even want to answer certain questions no more
Right.
because the
But in the
whole
same sense, the questions to be like, what is your favorite color is elementary?
for real,
Like,
that's goofy shit. It's goofy shit.
right.
Like ask me some other shit that you know what I'm saying?
What's
Do
your
you
credit
believe
score?
in
Like,
fucking
be that
aliens?
invasive.
Yeah, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, do you believe in aliens? Like, what are your like? Do you believe in God? Like, ask me some shit like that. That's going to get off into an in-depth ass conversation rather than asking me what my favorite color is. Because if you know me well enough, you know I wear a certain color on my nails all the time, and I wear one color every day, all day, no matter what the fuck. So if you paying attention, you gonna know. You shouldn't have to ask that shit. So that's where I'm
Part.
at with it. And it's just like I hate to be so hard on guys, and like I know I get not
I don't.
everybody did the shit. Like I feel bad sometimes because
I don't.
I like
I don't.
I'm horrible now.
I
And
don't.
I wasn't always like this, Karen. I was good because I was in a space where I was so focused on everything I had going on. I wasn't even interested in dating. And it wasn't until this year, Karen. I don't know if you watched any of the podcasts that I've co-hosted on because I was very open on those. I didn't put
Oh,
it
oh
out
yeah,
on
when your
pure
sister-in-laws were
fuckery.
at the house. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
But this one, I'm gonna be transparent with my fuckers because I haven't shared everything with the fuckers on pure fuckery because you know what I'm saying, and not necessarily out of fear of judgment because like I always say, don't judge me, judge your motherfucking mama. I'm in the space that I'm in where as guys, since that situation has ended, guys approach me now. I'm just like no, like I, flat out, I'm good. Like I'm not in the space to
Right.
date. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I'm absolutely embracing my singlehood because I've always been dating. This is the first time since I've been divorced, since I've not been in a faggot relationship with anybody or not been engaged. This is the first time in my adult life that I'm actually chilling, embracing my singlehood, and not letting anybody into my space and allowing them to be a distraction. With the old man, you guys, I've spoke to this about on the podcast before. Y'all know I got a book, a traditional book deal. It's at my publishing house right now. My goal was to release my book and have this big 40th birthday book release party, right? I got my book edits back right as I was dating the old man. He was such a fucking distraction. That shit set. I turn the computer on every day to go through these edits. And because I was so fucking distracted and consumed with the bullshit that we had going on, I would close the computer and I'll come back to it the next day. I come back to it and the next day became the next day and so forth.
Right.
And the second I got rid of him, I finally sat down in front of the computer. And once I got a grasp on shit and got my head on things, and when I reached the point where I kind of reached writer's block, so to speak, and I meditated, I prayed on it. Literally, it took me from like 1:30 to I hit the final save on that document at 4:44. So from 1:30 to 4:44 on a Friday afternoon, I was able to finish that shit. I say that to say this, ladies, stop letting these men come into our fucking lives and consume us, giving us the bare fucking minimum, trying to dictate who, what, when, where, why, run our lives, and distracting us from our fucking purpose. Because that's what I allowed. This man absolutely distracted me from my purpose. And because of this shit, it took me forever to get those book edits back. My birthday is approaching. They're still working. They're prioritizing my project, but there's no guarantee it's gonna be ready to go. So like my plans, and this is my 40th birthday plans are being placed on hold because I allowed a distraction to come into my life. And I don't blame him. I blame myself because I take ownership for all my bullshit flat out. I allowed him to come in knowing where I was mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But I let the bullshit consume me. I listened to what he was saying. And the second he showed me the bare minimum, how can I help, offering his assistance and shit. I took that as a sign, like, give him a chance. And I gave him a chance, and not to take away from him. He was a great guy. But the
He
problem
wasn't your guy.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. He's a great guy. He just wasn't my guy. And that's why all that negative energy between us persisted. That's how we reached that point that ended up in some fucking slash tires and a scratched up car and some more shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Some damaged outfits, a potential world star video.
exactly. And you know what I'm saying? It was, and we were good. Here's the thing, y'all. Y'all don't understand this. In my viewpoints on sex. Sex is such an intimate act. We need to be more, and as I've grown and matured as a woman, be more fucking mindful of who you allow into your fucking space. Like your sex is a portal to so much more.
Absolutely.
And the second that man laid down and became each other's equal, that's when the toxicity kicked in full force. Because we're both older, we're both seasoned, we've both been experienced, we've had experiences. and we both were trying to outsex each other. So the sex was amazing. That was one thing. And this man had the audacity. He said something. I ain't gonna repeat what he said, but my best friend go watch this and she go die laughing because this old man said some shit to try to hit below the belt regarding my performance in the bedroom. But sir, you
ain't
ain't
never got to get it again.
You ain't stalking a motherfucker and harassing a motherfucker because they sex is trash. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I've never had a single complaint. You were trying to hit below the belt, but good dick and good pussy equals arguments every day and toxicity every day and controlling tendencies. You telling me who I can go out with, where I can go, what I can do, who I should be hanging out with, what time I should be in. Like you giving me a curfew. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Karen. She like, what?
Listen, because you know me. My daddy lived on the other side of town.
I'm trying to tell you.
Names might match, but the day he tell me to bring my ass home to the house that I pay for.
Look, no. It wasn't even the house he paid for.
No. I'm talking about my dad.
Yeah, exactly. This man wanted.
I pay for this mug. You gonna tell me?
He wanted me at his house at a certain time, and if I couldn't make it there, it was a problem.
Let me out the car. Let me out.
Look, I should have jumped out the car moving.
Okay.
You not over here dictating shit in another person's household that you're not paying bills
at all.
If it's trash. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that's a whole nother story. But that's my experience, and that's why I'm in the space that I'm in. And after I ended things with him, you know, I've had guys come out the woodworks letting me know I've had a crush on you and all this shit. And it's just right now I'm in a space, you know, I got a couple friends that I entertain as far as conversation and everything, but I'm just in a space right now where I'm focused. I'm focused on the task at hand, the shit that I need to get done. I'm embracing being single and truly being single, not dating, not engaging with anybody, not entertaining anyone, not sleeping with anyone. I just want to be left alone. And people think it's a joke when I say that. Like, Mo, you really don't want, I have enough shit to fill my days. Just leave me alone. And people don't understand that. Like, I'm good. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I love. And that's my problem. Absolutely. I love. I love the idea of love. I love being in relationships. I want to, you know what I'm saying, want that. But when the timing is right. Right now, it's time for me to just take a step back.
But think about how responsible that is for you to say, I know me, I know what I want, and this ain't it. I came out of a relationship in 2018. I was like, listen, you know, I saw him in passing. He didn't live here. We was in the DMs. It was hot and heavy. I'm like, all right, we can't gonna get booed up. And I got booed up and then got out of it as immediately. It was an abort mission. Abort. And in those 2 years, because that was the end of 18, we're now in 2020. In these 2 years, listen, I've learned how I want to style my hair, how I want to dress, how I want to be approached, how I want to go out. I take myself out. If I feel like beating his face, that's fine. If I don't, you gonna take me as I am. I've had to learn K all over again. And so now I'm in a place where you can't come to me with this elementary dating shit. Yes, you should text me every day. Yes, you should bring me something when you come by the house. Yes, you should plan a date. Yes, you listen. If I got to tell you all that, then baby, you ain't in the big league.
Business here, sir.
You right? No, and if you think taking me to Benihana or Ruth Chris, listen, sir, amateurs. That's for amateurs. You want to get to know me? I can take myself. I'll throw my credit card down and pay for my own damn meal. What? Like the expenses that they go through to impress.
Right.
Like, yeah, I've been there. But if you take me somewhere that you see me at, like, you know, the places I go to on the cut that I don't even put on the gram, but you know I hang out there. Oh, let me take you to, listen, I'll be like, oh, hold on, let me go get my bag. Let me rethink. Listen, I almost got to go think if I'm going to get my spend the night bag. Like, hold on, like you did. Hold on, because you spent time. You talked to somebody that knew me enough to know that place around the corner that don't nobody know I hang out at is my spot. Like, that's where I go for real. Hold up. I got, I cut my hair off. I got this little mohawk thing going through because my sister's in beauty school. I said, see, this is the worst thing I could have done before the winter because I said, I really feel like doing some bald-headed home shit.
Hey, it looks good.
I'm back in my space.
Exactly.
So I'm like you on, on the Love Is podcast is where everybody got a name. So this year I was like, beginning of the year, I was like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna go ahead and open the gates to KK, and we gonna try this dating shit.
Okay.
So to end up in the space I'm in is kind of funny too. Um, so everybody's got a nickname, and everybody's been on the podcast. I'm like, I've been to breakfast with this one child, wore like a FUBU outfit with Jesus sandals.
What?
And I'm like, you approach, and I'm not, listen, I'm gonna talk my shit. You approach me. Now, when I'm out and about and I'll be Sunday best if I need to be. But
Right.
when I come to play, like I come to play, like I came
Right.
in my good jeans, the
Right.
painted on ones, a nice shirt, and some real shoes. You came to breakfast looking like, I felt like it was very 1990. Like I thought Cisco was still playing the thong song. Like, no. Like I felt like we had gone backwards. And I'm like, okay. Like, this is how you came out to breakfast?
Wow.
Didn't wait for me to get out the car, didn't hold the door open. I'm like,
Wow.
never again. Then
Wow.
another one's trying to shoot his shot, and I go ahead and let you shoot your shot. Then you ghost me. Oh, I got too much going on. And the thing about relationships is the beginning is just as important as the end, because how you
Exactly.
begin it is how you 9 times out of 10 will end it. And so if you end in some, kind of craziness, or you start kind of craziness, you go end in craziness. And I think the thing for women that I hate that we do the most is that we really buy into the love conquers all
Yep.
theme
We
of
do.
life. We stay in situations for way too long because we are taught that if you love him through it, he will X, Y, and Z. No, no, no.
Exactly.
What he gonna do is do exactly what Kanye said. He gonna leave your ass for somebody else.
Yep.
I don't care if it's Becky with good hair or not. You will love him to the point where he's supposed to be where he's supposed to be, and then he deuce out. So we invest all this time in somebody else, and that's why it's so hard for us to leave, is because we've invested so much time, not realizing if I spent that time on me, I would have realized that I should have left you 2 years ago,
Exactly.
2 months ago. I would have
Probably
realized
would.
that I
You
had
would never
places
get
people
entertained
to
in the
be.
first place. You
Right.
know what I'm
But
saying?
but we start becoming so self-sacrificing, and I hate that. And
Yep.
I think that was what was so important those 2 years of learning me, that I'm like, listen, you don't listen to podcasts, bye. You don't like my kids, bye. You don't serve Jesus. Listen, we Pentabaptist. We were raised Pentecostal. We at a Baptist church, but we do the same thing Pentecostals do. So we are Pentabaptist.
Right.
You don't serve Jesus, gotta go. You ain't trying to do more than your 9 to 5, gotta go. You don't understand entrepreneur life, gotta go. This, I come with a lot of parameters now, and I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
You can't double dutch yourself into my life and get in on the right, then you're not for me. You're not here for me. You're not here for the right reasons. I need somebody who can support me and deal with my crazy shit and deal with my crazy friends and deal with my crazy schedule and all of that. I'm not asking more than what I can provide. I'm really, really not. And
Right.
the thing I love that you said about the sex thing, I said, we just said this. There's a podcast out called Bound and Gag,
Mm-hmm.
and I talk about soul ties because we don't really pay much attention. And the thing is, we are so concerned about catching STD, but we don't worry about about a soul transmission.
Yes, indeed.
You be up here doing listen, I'm all for the ball headed whole shit. I am. Listen, every now and then, listen, you need it. I just turned 37. I still need to prove that, maybe my knees ain't as good as Meg the Stallions, but I might be not too far behind. Listen, listen, Patron 2 involved. Listen, it's gonna get real stupid real fast.
Exactly.
But be safe, be smart. If you're not, like, for me personally, I don't kiss. If we just fucking, I'm not kissing you. Not
Right.
in the mouth. No, thank you.
I think
Listen, this you got a time stamp on your body. And it is literally as every stroke, we winding that clock up. And when we done, listen, shower, front door, let yourself out, the door will lock, or I'll come down and lock it eventually. But you got to go.
yeah.
But we are so concerned about STDs that we don't really worry about our soul transmitted stuff. Because when you allow somebody to come in you, or vice versa, you're all transmitting y'all depression, y'all anxieties, your fears, your work, everything that I am becomes a part of you, and vice versa. And then you wondering why can't I focus? Why do I feel this kind of way? Why? Because you don't let the boo-boo the fool try to procreate some shit in you that's not yours.
Hey, man, you better speak. You better speak.
Like, no. And you, no, son, I don't want your crazy shit. I'm crazy enough. Okay. Both my parents are Jamaican. Man, ma'am, sir, I don't need no extra. I'm a firecracker waiting to go off. I am the finale. You make me mad, it's gonna look like 4th of July finale, honey.
Hey, I'm the
I'm
Fourth of
psyched.
July for
Okay, the finale when it all go when it all go off. That's me at festivity.
wow.
I don't need no extra energy. I don't. I don't. I probably need some taken away from.
I can dig it, Karen. I can dig it. I'm right there with you, and you know what I'm saying. We need to speak about it more. I think mothers need to educate their daughters
Absolutely.
about, when you lay down with a man, the energy that's being transferred, through the act of sex. People,
Absolutely.
I had a guy friend, and I won't even call him my guy friend because we actually ended up dating and were engaged for a period of time after some years. But you know what I'm saying? He, as far as sex was concerned, that was one thing that I admired so much about him. He just wasn't laying down with any and everybody. And he's the one who actually opened my eyes to that shit as far as, laying down with somebody in the energy that you're transferring, things like that. He's the one that put me on to it and pushed me into redoing the research on my own and learning more about these soul
Absolutely.
tie connections and stuff. So, that's one of the things I admire about him. And you know what I'm saying? But like I just said, we need to have more conversations. We need to be more mindful of the shit
Absolutely.
that we do and not just, the men that we do, not just the food that we're putting in our body and the alcohol and the substances that we put in our body. Be mindful of the men that you allow to invade your
Absolutely.
space because your body is a fucking temple. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't knocking nobody because I haven't
No.
had this fucking mindset. You know what I'm saying? We all have been ratchet. We all done had our ratchet moments, our ratchet years, whatever you want to call it. But I know now, and when you know better, you do better. And that's the space I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just to the point where I'm just like, I'm not just fucking out here willy nilly with any old body. I have to be more mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I'm more concerned about the soul tie shit that's being transferred than the STD. And everybody else worried about STDs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Other than rather than the soul tie connection, like that you can get spiritual fucking demons and shit. Like,
Absolutely.
don't
And they don't believe it. And,
understand.
and that's why I said when your energy change or all of a sudden you realize like this ain't me. Like I
Right.
don't even behave like this. I don't even respond like this. I don't. That's when you got to start doing some detoxing. You got to get back to the core. You got to say, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, how do we end up here?
Yep.
Um, and I the in teaching our daughters, this is one of the most important lessons that I taught my daughter this year was I said to her, she's 2 kids. She lost her first child and she has my grandson, he's 2 now.
Mhm.
And I said to her, I said, moving forward, I said, the only thing I can ask you to do is be very mindful of who you get with. I said, because you come as a package.
Yep.
I said, but you got to be mindful about people who are raised in trauma and people who are raised in love. People who are raised in trauma got fight or flight. And I said, you've experienced that in all this glory now. Is that your old baby daddy is raised in trauma? Because as soon as something pop off, homeboy ready to swing, fight, scream, cry, do all this, right, we going to court. For what? Because you didn't get your way? I'm sorry, pumpkin, but you a grown man.
Grown ass
Big
man.
boy pants, put your big boy pants on and deal with it.
Right.
Somebody who's raised in love will start to mirror you, will start to say, listen, we are in a good space. Let's not mess this up. We are in a good space. Let's not damage this. Let's, try to work this out. So you got to be really, really mindful about, like who you let in. Like you got to become very, very, very particular.
Yep. Yep. And people don't realize that. They don't realize that, man. And I'm glad we ended up down that rabbit hole because it needed to be said. Like that need to be put out there. And not just for the ladies, the fellas too, man. Y'all lay down with anything. Like I'm just not people be like, well, they talk about how many people you done slept with. You know what I'm saying? That's an important question. People don't be wanting to share that information. That's an important question. I be wanting to know shit like that. How many people? Who? You know what I'm saying? Is this somebody I know? Shit like that because that transfer of energy, that shit is real. You lay down with certain people, and you want to like women. It's gonna show up when with our pH balance. When your pH is off, that's like ladies. We run to the doctor thinking, oh, is this and that. No, look at the motherfucker you laying up with. Look at who you laying up with.
And it's
Sometimes you
so
go to the damn doctor and it, you know what I'm saying, they tell you, well, we can't find nothing wrong, or they give you some pills, it's just a yeast infection. No, pay attention to who you laying down with, because you don't know who they laying down with. You're not protecting yourself, and it
at
ain't
all.
just about a fucking condom. It's not even
It's
about
and it's more than that. It's
more
more than that.
than that.
But you know what's funny is, Mo? I'm in the middle of literally. I have the tea sitting on my counter. I started doing it last month. Is
Okay.
there's this thing called there's a shop called Sweet Seat here in
Okay.
Toledo, and it's the yoni
Okay.
steamy.
Mm-hmm.
So she got smart and she did the bath salts first, where you could just sit in the bathtub, do it yourself, versus sitting on that chair, because nobody got time to sit there for 45 minutes to let Miss Thang cook, clean, and detox. I
Right.
ain't got that kind of patience. So she's got the tea that you can take on the go.
Okay.
Trust me, if you've not invested in some yoni tea, you need to. Because when I say you got to start doing some cleansing from the inside out, and everybody, people see the yoni pearls and they see all this stuff, and it's not, everybody's experience is different. Depends on how nasty you've been. I mean, I ain't trying to be funny, but if it's been a while since you've done some housekeeping in the lower region, you might be a little appalled with yourself. But if you're relatively healthy and things like that, you know what I'm saying. But a little detox, they ain't hurt nobody.
Don't hurt.
Nobody.
Man, you better preach. You better preach.
A little detox ain't never hurt, and you never know. You might feel a little better about yourself.
Yes, indeed. If anything, you might come out feeling a little better about yourself.
And
But
that's where you got to start.
they don't be trying to hear it though. I want to ask you something, Karen, before we shut this down. What's in your spin a night bag? You brought it up.
What's in the spin night bag? You got to have your favorite pair of heels. And listen, ladies, don't get the ones that's scuffed up. You got to get a pair that's just for that space, just for that room.
Okay.
Just whether they see the floor, the bed, the ceiling, that's the only pair. Toothbrush, toothpaste, extra pair of drawers, a getaway outfit, something you can kind of just throw on real fast. Typically flats for the next day for the walk of shame. Let's see, condoms, lube. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I said toothbrush, getaway outfit. That's it. I mean, it's not. I'm staying over. We're gonna hang out for the weekend bag. It's a 24-hour bag. It's a 24-hour bag.
I got. What's
that's kind of it.
Anything weird in your spin a night bag that most people ain't got in their spin a night bags?
I don't know. It depends. Everybody's level of kink is different. Everybody's level of kink is different. So mine might be quite normal compared to everybody else's.
Right.
So a vibrating, ding-a-ling ring, might not be whatever for you. That might be quite normal.
All right, I got you. I don't
the beads that don't go around your neck, that might be normal for you.
For real though. So
right. So it just depends on who is listening. Depends.
I don't typically take my toys and stuff with me. And not that I have a shit ton of toys, because I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I didn't start masturbating, like, using toys and shit, until like probably 2017, 2018 type thing. I've always had sex readily available. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen, from one freak to the other. I'm gonna help you out. It's not really, the thing is, I think we make it so much more about the other person.
Exactly.
Not it's for you, because we all know when you have finished the act, you all of a sudden have great mental clarity.
Yep.
You all of a sudden real relaxed. You know what I'm saying? So it's really more for me like being self-sufficient. Like, he ain't always gonna be home. He ain't always gonna be ready. He ain't always gonna be on one. He gonna want to tell me about his day, and I don't want to hear about it. I've been home all day. I'm ready to go, sir. And you won't tell me about. I don't care about your boss right now. I really, really don't. I'm trying to have a great sweatpants moment with you, okay? Okay? I'm trying to have a great sweatpants moment with you, and you effing up the vibe, okay?
Up the vibe.
You effing up the vibe.
Over the once I start actually getting involved with toys and just experimenting and stuff. And here's the thing, I've had them, it was never my go-to thing. Like, I was just like, it don't do it for me.
So in your next relationship, just put on a show, and trust me, you will thank me later. I might get a dedication in the next book.
No, let me think.
When he come home and you put on that show, trust me, you will never ever not do it that way ever again. You'll be like, you know what? I ain't really, impressed him in a minute. Let me show him what I'm working with.
Yes, exactly. And I've learned, and I've actually done that. Put on a whole little performance, a whole little dog and pony show, and it was very well received and very appreciated.
Yes,
But you know what I'm
yes.
saying? I guess more so for me because getting married young and shit, and having kids young and all those things, it just was more like like a duty, a routine. So now that I'm
Mm,
older, I'm embracing, being single, and I'm learning who I am as a woman. Like, my kids are older now, so I'm truly learning who I am outside of those fucking boys. Whereas
right.
before, what I'm saying, all I knew, I'm their mom. But
You
now,
you didn't know you were supposed to be the snack while the boys
exactly,
had snack. I
exactly,
got you.
yeah. And when now I'm learning, I'm embracing it, and it's been an eye opener. Like, these last couple years have been an absolute eye opener. I'm embracing it. I'm loving it. You know what I'm saying? Couple kinks here and there, but
Absolutely.
hey, I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm embracing, and just becoming who I am as a woman overall, and just really learning the shit I like, what I don't like, what I'm saying, in the bedroom, outside the bedroom, with a man, without
Absolutely.
a man, just all these things. It's more of an experience, a growing experience, a learning experience. And not everybody, unfortunately, has the opportunity to, figure out who they are outside of a relationship, outside of being a mom. You know what I'm saying? Because life tends to happen. But so my advice, my recommendation, whoever fuck out there watching, if you're single, if you're dating, whatever the situation is, like, figure out who you are as a person. Find you, and just like we tell men, go find yourself, find God, and then come find me. Ladies,
Okay.
we bring the same level of toxicity to these fucking relationships as some of these men do. Find yourself. Find who you are as a woman. Know God, so that you can know God. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that go over your head. Know God so that you can know God. You know what I'm saying?
So when you ask the universe for what you want and it shows up, or so you think you know the difference between the dud and the test.
Exactly.
Like this one's the keeper. This the one throwback.
Yes, exactly. And you were able to
Throwback.
recognize it. But we not gonna don't let that go over your head, y'all. But
Mm-mm.
what else you got, Karen? What else you got? Anything else you got?
In the spend the night bag or in general?
Just in general, overall, and it's been a night bag forever.
Listen, the spend the night bag is always, is always fun. And then I still got like I always get teased on our podcast because I got mannish ways, and it's a true story. So I will take the spend the night bag and not let you know that I even got the spend the night bag. Spend the night bag was put in the trunk when I walked out my door. So I show up like this is some jeans, some flats, like, hey, what's up? I might take my laptop and we working and you eating and doing your thing and I'm doing my thing and then you don't even know what's about to happen. So
Right.
I kind of engage in like you gonna bite, you're not gonna bite because if you don't, I'm good with it. I still go take the bag back in the house and then we try this again next week.
Exactly.
So, the thing is, I'm enjoying the space I'm in. Going from, like I said, I'm like you, like everybody don't get the KK special. They ain't supposed to, they ain't going to. And going through this whole year of, DMs and blocking and ghosting and dating. And now kind of being back in the space of, dating again and, being happy. We're calling it New Bay Energy on the Love Is podcast.
New Bay
It's
energy.
like Karen running around on New Bay Energy. She's smiling and tweeting and all this other stuff. And so, just really kind of making sure that I don't get lost in love. I think, like I said in the beginning, we get so wrapped up in it that we begin to lose who we are. So it's really trying to, be led in love and let somebody else kind of take the role, a little, take the reins a little bit and get to where we're supposed to be. The joy of where I am now is that who I'm dating is not new to me. Somebody I
Okay.
knew before. Very much love at first sight. I was in kindergarten. He was in fourth grade.
Aww.
And so dated briefly, effed it up, both of us. And I tell him all the time, I said, listen, we had to grow to where we are now. Like you had to go do you in life and I had to do me. And now, the story has changed and the book is being written differently. And it's nice. It's a nice space because it's not like I really like before I know I had issues like being vulnerable and showing certain emotions and things like that. When you got history with somebody, it's easy. So loving him is easy, being vulnerable with him is easy, telling the truth is easy. I don't like is easy. Like I literally went off Friday.
Yes.
Like what we not gonna do? I mean, full 4th of July firecracker mode. Like And he just was smart enough to just sit there like,
And just chill the fuck out and
right. He just sat there, took it, and the order was done. He was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like,
let
"Yeah, I
you
feel
have
better
your
now."
moment.
I'm like, "I got it off my chest." But I said, "But we not go down." Finger pointing and all that kind of stuff.
That's so
Um, so so in relationships, I'm doing well. Looking forward to see what happens as far as the podcast goes. I'm always excited to be on. Thank you again for having me. I'm so proud that we got to do this pure fuckery, the
finally,
Love
thank
Is
you for being
podcast collab, man. We have been working on this for a hot
yeah,
second.
definitely. Plug your where can my fuckers find you at? Where can they find you at?
Y'all
Podcast
can
everywhere. What tell
You
them
can find me on Instagram at the Jamerican, DAJAMERICAN. You will find it, I'm sure, in the show notes. You can find me on Facebook under two profiles, either author Karen KK Rose, because I am like Mo, an author. Wrote a psycho thriller a couple years ago. Got some new stuff coming out very soon. You can find me on Facebook as Karen Reynolds. You can find the Love Is Podcast on Instagram at the Love Is Podcast. It's the underscore love underscore is underscore podcast.
okay.
And you can find the podcast wherever podcasts are found. You can find us on YouTube, Simplecast, um, Apple Podcast, Google, wherever you can find podcasts, you can find us.
All right,
So
y'all.
me and DK Walker doing our thing with our Love Is listeners on some, we on some pure fuckery, but on a whole different level.
Right on, Karen. Right on. Y'all know where y'all can find me at So Sophisticated. That's SOO Sophisticated 1 on Instagram or pure underscore fuckery. Y'all know I'm on Facebook. It's Monique Ross. Y'all can find me on Twitter as SOO Mo MOE. And y'all know where y'all can listen to the podcast at. Watch me on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Drop it off in the comments. Let me know about any episodes y'all want to see me talk about. Any episodes y'all want to see me put out. Any comments you have, any questions you have, drop it off in the comments. Other than that, I'll catch you all in the next episode. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the comments. It's all love. Thank you to my special guest co-host, Miss Karen of the Love Is podcast. Y'all check her out. I appreciate all of your likes and subscriptions. I'll catch you all in the next episode.